We're holding an online figure sculpting competition, and in this video I want to share everything with you guys that you need to know in order to participate. So let's go ahead and get into it. The competition starts today, November 1st, 2024, and it ends on the 21st of November. So mark that in your calendar, put it in your phone. The 21st is when you have to finally submit the images in order to be eligible for the prizes for this competition. So if you know anybody that might be interested, please share this video with them because we'd like to have as many participants as possible. Last year there were over 100 people and we'd like to boost those numbers up for this competition. It's free to join, so you don't have to have purchased any of the Proco courses in order to participate in the competition. With that being said, there is a sale going on now. So through the month of November, there's the Black Friday sale. And so if you're interested in getting any of the courses, whether it's the Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, the Portrait Sculpting course, or the Hand Sculpting course, or any of the other great courses that they have at Proco.com, now is a great time to take advantage of that sale. It's the biggest sale of the year. The pose for this competition is this pose right here. It was generously provided by posespace.com. I love using their poses because they have 24 different images of the pose turning in space, and so you're really able to get a good idea of the pose from many angles. There's a link down in the description where you can download the high definition version of this censored pose for free. Now, if you want the full uncensored pose, that can be found over at posespace.com. And you can do that by going to posespace.com and then searching for Charlie K020. That's the name of this pose. And purchasing that full pose helps support posespace.com. So a big thank you to anybody that supports by getting that pose over at Posespace. Once you have the reference images, then you'll need some basic sculpting supplies. For this year's competition, there's no height limit, though I recommend doing somewhere around 1 foot tall, or 12 inches, or 30 centimeters, somewhere in that range, but you can go as small or as large as you'd like for this sculpture. For clay, I recommend using some inexpensive polymer clay, like this gray Sculpey clay. Here's an example of a sculpture that I did in this clay. What I like about it is that you can bake it in a normal oven and then you have a finished sculpture after the competition, and you don't have to worry about making a mold and casting it and all of that stuff. Now, if you have another type of clay that you prefer to use, that's fine. Doesn't matter what type of clay you use. Just make sure that it's a consistent color, which will help for documentation. If you do use polymer clay, you'll probably want a wire armature as well as some aluminum foil to fill out the inside of the sculpture. And you'll need some basic sculpting tools as well as a well-lit area for documentation. There's a list of links in the description for videos that go over things like building wire armatures, building stands for your wire armatures, live streams from last year's competition. And so if you'd like to follow along with the live streams I did last year, you can sculpt right along with those videos. Types of clay, sculpting tools, and other videos that I thought would be helpful for anybody participating in this competition. So even if you've never sculpted before, join the competition, do the sculpture, watch the videos. I'll walk you through as much as I can, and by the end of 3 weeks, you should have a finished sculpture ready to display. Might not be that good, but it might be. You don't know. I don't know. I'll see what you guys do. So be sure to check out all of those links down in the description. On Thursday, November 7th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we'll be doing a live stream here on the Proco 3D YouTube channel. And that'll be a kind of a Q&A, and I'll be sculpting along with you guys. So if you have any questions, put it in your calendar, put an alarm for it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can join that live stream, and let me know if you have any questions about the competition or about sculpting in general. If you haven't already, you'll need to set up a free account over at Proco.com, because that's where you're going to submit images of your sculptures for this competition. And remember that they need to be submitted by the end of the day on Thursday, November 21st. Now, if you happen to be watching this video after the competition has taken place, you're still welcome to use the free reference images and do the sculpture and even submit on that page. You just won't be able to get any of the prizes for this specific competition. But I'd love to see your work, and so I hope you do participate even if you're watching this in the future. In the links below, there's also a PDF that has important information on the criteria that I'll be using when I'm judging your sculptures. So if you're interested to know what I'm going to be thinking about, you can download that PDF and see kind of the point system that I've laid out on how I'm going to be assessing your sculptures. But just to quickly go over that criteria, I'm going to be judging based on documentation, accurate proportions, anatomical correctness, gesture, balance, the portrait, the hands and feet, the surface texture, style, and likeness. So those are the things that I'm going to be thinking about as I'm looking at your sculptures. From last year's competition, I noticed that I was able to do a lot of the judging just using the small thumbnail images of the sculptures because of some glaring problems like proportion or gesture or just the poor documentation. And so to make sure that you get through the first round of judging, make sure that your images look good when you submit them over at Proko.com. So for the prizes, first place prize will be $500, second place will be $150, and third place will receive $100. After those submissions on the 21st, I'll give myself a week to go through everything, and then on the 29th, there'll be a video that goes over the winners for that competition. More important than the prize money, I hope that this competition will motivate you and many others to create great sculptures in 3 weeks that you guys can be proud of. And I hope you'll help support this competition and future competitions by supporting our sponsors. So you can do that by getting the full pose over at posespace.com, which is called Charlie K020. And you can also support myself and Proko.com by getting the sculpting courses, the figure sculpting course, the portrait sculpting course, or the new hand sculpting course, and using that Black Friday sale to take advantage and start mastering sculpture today. In last year's competition, I did have some people reach out to me and ask for specific feedback and like a judging rubric of their sculpture. I do that through my Patreon page, and so if you're interested in that, you can subscribe to my Patreon and then reach out to me through there. And that way I can give you direct feedback on your work if you want additional feedback from this competition. Okay, that's everything. Again, there's links down below. Can't wait to see your sculptures. Hopefully we'll have just a lot of people sculpting together. We got a great pose for this year's competition. Stay creative, stay productive, and I'll see you in the next video.